movie review on the internet today, the A-List Review. I am your host, the Game Changer, Wes Truth. And as you can see, it's time to go back to the theater. And ladies and gentlemen, this past weekend made it not only a time to go back to the theater, but also back to the closet and take out your sweater, because my review of the 2019 drama, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, coming up now. Lloyd Vogel, an award-winning journalist for Esquire magazine, has been given a new piece to work on. It's a very different task for him, as he must work on a 400-word article on television host Fred Rogers. Lloyd drops all of the family problems he's been dealing with and heads to Pittsburgh to interview Mr. Rogers, whom he's a bit skeptical of. Once the two meet, Lloyd becomes surprised, learning many things he never realized about Fred, and ends up getting advice and help with his problems from Mr. Rogers himself. So what did I think of A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood? I thought it's a wonderful drama, inspired by a true story. First off, the film might not be the type of movie everyone is expecting it to be. It's not a Mr. Rogers formulaic biopic showing his entire life, but instead follows the writer of the article's story. Fred Rogers comes in more of a supporting character to the story, coming and going throughout, very much reminding me of another Tom Hanks vehicle, Saving Mr. Banks, where he portrayed Walt Disney. We do get some highlights of Fred's life and see the impact he had on everyday people, from Make-A-Wish kids to a whole group on the subway. The film also dives a bit into his family life and shows that he wasn't perfect, even though everyone pictured him to be a saint. I really enjoyed it that it follows this route, and it makes a great companion watch with last year's fantastic documentary, Won't You Be My Neighbor, which is a more straightforward look at Fred's life. This film plays out like an episode of the show, complete with the opening theme song, appearances by the characters, and puppets, and even use of model cities and cars used as creative and fun storytelling techniques. It's also not afraid to get a little odd, especially towards the midpoint. There's some interesting dream sequences, and a fun scene where it feels like the film's going to become a thriller. Lloyd's family troubles can get pretty dark at times, especially the rocky relationship with his absent father. It's fun seeing Lloyd's views change on how he feels about the TV host as he gets to know him, and that he's not totally sure he trusts him or believes he's really like the person we see on television. There are some witty moments, as well as some touching elements, and an overall heartwarming feel to it. Another extraordinary performance by Tom Hanks as Fred Rogers, the creator and host of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, who uses his platform to try and help and make people's lives better. Matthew Rhys as Lloyd Vogel, the jaded journalist who's assigned to write an article on Rogers and ends up having his life changed after the experience. Susan Kelechi Watson as Andrea, Lloyd's wife, mother to their child, and public attorney who's a fan of Rogers' show, and Chris Cooper as Jerry, Lloyd's estranged father, trying to make amends. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood is a heartfelt and moving film that acts as a terrific celebration of the personality who meant so much to his viewers. I'm going to give it the rating of A-List approved. That's right, it gets the A-List seal of approval. Alright, well that's the show. I'll be back with another review very soon. But until then, don't forget to subscribe right here on YouTube. YouTube.com/Westside515. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/WestTrueBaylist. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter and the Instagram @WesAylist. Until next time, truth out.